Now, we all know as hypnotherapists, the first point of contact with a client is to do an investigation to find out what is the root cause for them smoking, having the anxiety, having the weight issues, whatever it is, because we know as good therapists that a client presents the symptom, not the root cause. And our job as hypnotherapists is to find that root cause and help shape it into something new. But did you know the same thing should and can be done for your hypnotherapy business? On this video, guys, let me take you through the 5 top root causes that all failing hypnotherapists or hypnotherapy business will go through, show you what to look for, show you how to analyze your own root cause in your business, and also help you avoid the major ones that will stop your business from actually scaling. Let's go. Now, while everybody's business is different, these being the main top 5 ones, guys, you should be analyzing for these root causes. If your business is suffering with sales, not scaling, you're not getting paid clients, you're not sure what to do, your social media is not going anywhere, and essentially your business is not making any profits, look at these 5 business root causes, guys. Now, obviously, I can't sit with you and go through them one by one, but it is by far the most important thing you guys can do as of today. And even if one of these things is out of place, it'll throw off your entire business. So the first thing I want to talk about, guys, is niching. I talk about this a lot. When it comes to your niche, this is the start of any good hypnotherapy business. And what I can say is the most potent or dangerous part of a business that is failing usually comes down to the niche. So you want to make sure, guys, is your niche blue ocean or red ocean? If you look back a couple of videos, you'll see a video we did, and I'll show you the definition between red ocean and blue ocean niches. Go check that out. I'll leave a link below. You guys can check that out as well. You want to be aiming for something called a blue ocean niche. Does your niche have real people? I don't know what it is, but a lot of hypnotherapists come and fantasize these crazy niches where there's not even real people who want what they're trying to sell. And they don't put 2 and 2 together and realize, okay, the reason I'm not making money is because I'm not talking to any real people that have a real problem that I can help them with. So inside your blue ocean, it has to be real people, guys. It's got to have a real problem, not made up something in your head. It's got to be a real demand for what you have. It's got to be able to be scalable. If you're happy just making $1,000 per month as a hypnotherapist, that's fine. But if you're looking at making the 10s, the 20s, the 30s, even upwards of 60 grand a month, like a lot of our students are making right now, your niche has to be scalable. Is there a big enough audience overall? And also, where is this audience? We all know we have to use social media. Where does your audience hang out the most? Is it Facebook? Is it YouTube? Is it Udemy? Is it TikTok? Are they listening to podcasts? You've got to find out where these people are. All these things put together, guys, is what we call a blue ocean niche. I'll leave that video link below. Next one is pricing. I would say out of every business owner I've ever met, it seems that hypnotherapists have a real problem with pricing. I don't know what it is. It could be an insecurity, a fear. I don't know what it is, but it needs to stop, guys. If you're running a business and you want to impact X amount of people per year, you want to be able to support your family, you want to be a successful business owner, you've got to have money coming in. Cash flow is king when it comes to this thing. And there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to charge top dollar for what you do. Now, a lot of people will say, well, the rest of the industry is charging this and they've been doing this for X amount of years. The way I look at it is all those hypnotherapists that have been charging that for X amount of years, they've just been charging the wrong things. Not they're charging more now, they've just been charging the wrong things. So the prices we recommend anywhere between $1,500 and upwards in order for the metrics and the maths to make sense, for the amount of work you've got to do as a hypnotherapist. I'll leave another video below, guys, show you how to do that and go through the metrics and the maths. But all in all, guys, your pricing has to support you as a business owner. How can you expect to impact the world with clients if you have to work a full-time job just to make enough money? It's sort of pointless. You've got to be a business owner when it comes to hypnotherapists. So you want to use metrics and maths, guys, not just what your mentor tells you, because 9 times out of 10, they're telling you what they think. It's not true. You've got to look at the maths. Look at what you need to be earning and work backwards from there. I'll leave that video below. It's not what every other therapist is charging, but you also got to think of local demand versus global demand. What this means, guys, if you want to earn a lot as a hypnotherapist, which I recommend everybody should and you deserve to, you have to go global, not local. Because if all the local therapists around you are charging, I don't know, $25, that's all you can potentially charge. But if you start to market your business globally, you know, there's no real ceilings that you can charge what you like to an extent, but look at the maths and the metrics, not what everybody else, not what you feel you should be charging. It's not a matter of fact of, is it fair or not? Are you ripping your clients off? You're giving them something that can change their life, that is worth way more than you could ever charge anyway, but you've got to be impacted business-wise as well. Next is a big one. Not a lot of people like doing this, sales calls. Sales calls are important. You're a business owner. You don't want to have prices on your website because anybody can show up and it will scare a lot of people away. You also want to have something that's trackable. If you're jumping on calls with a clarity call, strategy call, you're jumping on calls with potential clients and you're just winging it, It's very hard to track those things, very hard to look back over your sales calls, which a lot of our top earning students do. They listen to every call they've ever done and iterate it, make it better, make it more predictable. But if they go through their sales call and say, okay, that part I was doing on the script that Scott gave me did not work, I'm going to change it to this, and bang, next couple of calls, their close rate goes through the roof. So they keep that part and they're listening to every single call they have with potential client to find out what is better. How can I make it more efficient? How can I make it faster? How can I have my client included more in this? How can I get the price at the right time on the strategy call? These things can't be done if you just wing it. If you're winging it, it can't be tracked and you can't work out what's working. So it has to be trackable. You want to iterate these things for a higher close rate. It's got to be more predictable. Regardless, guys, whether you want or not, you've got to do sales calls, okay? Next is my favorite. I'll talk a lot about what are called asymmetry inputs. Asymmetry is a fancy word for the least amount of work and action that I can put in that provides me or gives me or turns out into the most amount of inputs and outputs. Inputs and outputs is what do I do to the hypnotherapy business machine each day that turns into an output, i.e., which is money. So if I had the choice to push one button per day that created multiple inputs that turned into multiple outputs, I'm going to push that button each day. But where most hypnotherapists get it wrong is they have to push multiple amount of buttons per day that turns into very little outputs. They're working their backside off every single day, no money coming in. But if we flip that around and you learn how to do this, we've got plenty of videos on YouTube to show you how to do this, where you can find out the one thing that works better than everybody else. You put 100% focus into that. You iterate that thing. You make it better. You make it more predictable. And that by far turns into, if I just push this one button a day, it's going to turn into $1,000 client, $1,500 client, $2,500 client. If I'm smart enough, I'm just going to wake up each morning and press that button. I might even push it twice that day and bang, I've got 2 paid clients. Rather than what everybody does, just throw spaghetti at the wall hoping something works. And if something does work, they don't know what it is because they haven't tracked it. And again, might make some money one day, no money the next. Money one week, the next month they make nothing because there's no system. There's no asymmetry. So as you start to scale as a business owner, you want to find that asymmetry everywhere to the point where you know exactly what buttons to push each day that turn into paid clients. And everything else that everybody else is doing, you can delete and get rid of and never touch because it's never going to turn into a client again. This is the mastery of asymmetry. Next is tracking, guys. Tracking is huge. Tracking works for all of this stuff, guys. Every 30 days, we tell our students to do this, you should be analyzing the past 30 days. Monthly tracking, guys. We do this in my company every 30 days. What worked? Can you find out what those things are? Where are those asymmetry buttons? What could be made easier, less amount of effort? Instead of putting more effort in for the same amount of outputs, can I put less in, automate this part, change this part, delete this part, but still make the more money? If not, can I make the same amount of money, if not more money, because now I've got more time? What can be deleted? What didn't work? You know, if I'm posting on Facebook a selfie of myself with a quote, but it's not turning into anything as far as income, I'll get rid of it. 97, 98% of what gurus and mentors say you have to do in your business each day is absolute garbage. Our students that are earning the most are literally doing the least amount of these things that you can think of, but making the lion's share of the money because they found those asymmetry things because we taught them to do that. Because otherwise, throwing spaghetti at the wall takes a lot of time every day, and before long you get burnt out, there's no money coming in, and you just give up. Next, what can be passed on to a virtual assistant? If you nail your social media, you know that this specific type of post, this type of posting video with these hashtags on this platform works so well for me that 70% of my income for the last 30 days came from just doing that activity. Can I pass that on to my VA? Can my VA do all of those things for me so I can get time back in my life to be a mum, a father, a sister, a brother, a person again, while I'm sleeping or doing something else that's fun? My VA can be doing those things for me. I can pay them and they can repeat those things over and over, okay? Tracking is key. If you're wanting to go from 10 grand a month to 30, you need to know what worked at 10. You need to know those asymmetry buttons are. You need to know what are the root causes that are failing my business. A lot of people say you've got to stand on stage, then you've got to write a book, you've got to have a podcast, you've got to do this, you've got to give away freebies, you've got to have free sessions, you've got to have this and this and this. But everyone's just throwing the stuff out there and it's becoming like a laundry list of things that therapists need to do each day that's not turning into anything. You can look at the state of the industry and most therapists are still working a full-time job, can't get their business off the ground. So what are our students doing that's so different? This is it right here, guys. Blue ocean niches, the right price based on metrics and maths, trackable sales calls, asymmetry inputs. They're really analyzing their business every 30 days, and they're repeating the same thing. You should get to a point in your business, guys, where you know that if I have a list of 30 things to do, only 3 of those things seem to be bringing me in clients. I'm intelligent enough. I'm just going to do those 3 things every single day. Everything else can get thrown away or passed on to my VA. Now I've got more time back in my life. I don't literally have to sit in front of my laptop for 15 hours a day, hoping something works. I know what works, but I also know what to delete as well. Thanks for watching, guys.